I'm Mike Fuller. Some people know me as Crazy Mike, but I ain't crazy. I just love guitars. I love people. I love guitars. I love music. So that's what this place is all about.
And how long you been around?
We've been in this location for 26 years.
26 years.
26.
That's fantastic.
Well, the cool thing about the Hungry Outlaw series is just how wonderful these folks are at playing their instruments and singing and composing songs that really mean something. You know, the day of playing three chords and rhyming, that just doesn't cut it anymore. So. And unfortunately, that's about what I do. You've had a bunch of wonderful, wonderful artists in here. And every time somebody comes in, I fall in love. I think, God, I can't imagine anybody doing better than this. And then somebody else comes along. So the variety of artists in our world today, I'm speaking just of singer-songwriters. The variety of the artists is just, it's astounding. It's just an old song entitled "The Old Guitar." I was walking past the pawn shop when I saw this old guitar. It looked like it had seen its better days. I had no place I had to be, no money to my name. Without knowing why, I strolled into the place. I asked the man about it and he said he didn't know where it had been, whom it had been owned. He took it from the window and he handed it to me. I strummed a couple chords, oh what a tone. Well, I tuned it just a little in a hours till he told me he was closing for the day. As he placed it back for all to see, a tear ran down my cheek. Lord, you should have heard it play Amazing Grace. I guess a lot of us are kinda like that old guitar, with a lot of scars and scratches from life's race. Can never judge a person by the clothes that he might wear, or discount him for the lines upon his face. If you meet a man who's down and out, don't be too quick to judge. He just hasn't had his full share of breaks. At times like this I think about that old beat up guitar. Lord, you should have heard it play Amazing Grace.
It was awesome. right, y'all. So one of the coolest things about this place is the fact that we got Yano back here who working on these beautiful guitars. Right now working on a 1964 vintage Fender Jaguar. And this is just a day in the life of Yano. This is what he does.
Hey, I'm Yano Garcia. I am the tech here at Fuller's. This is my office, as I like to brag about it, like I have an office. I've been here for about 15 years. I started off in sales. So when I came on board, I'd been playing guitar in my whole life. I played my whole life, and I wanted to be around guitars and guitar players and music. And I was at this point of life where trying to settle down, and so I just kind of came in here and I turned in an application, and I called and bothered them every week. I call and say, all right, so you need a job, you're gonna hire me? And then I guess after getting tired of talking to me, they finally let me on board. And like I said, about 15 years ago, and I did some sales, we did guitar shows, we did all that stuff, and then we didn't have a repair tech, and I'd always worked on my own gear. My dad was a mechanic, so when I was a kid, I had a tool, the screwdriver in my hand. And then I just kind of started doing this, and Mike was cool enough to allow me to kind of develop as I was here. So if we had projects for the shop, I got to work on the shop guitars. And then, as I got more confident, I started doing, I said, well, let's do the customer stuff. And I started doing that. And then, now I get to spoil myself. And, I think I was telling you earlier, as a guitar player, I get to play guitars that I never thought I'd get to play. 60s Stratocasters and Jaguars and Telecasters, and that kind of spoils me and humbles me, but I think to working on them is the best part about everything. This is like a piece of history, and people are crazy about these things, so it really makes me want to kind of up my game when I'm working on this stuff, because I know that somebody's going to buy it and they're going to dissect everything that I did, man. They're going to look at the solder joints on there. They're going to look at the pots. They're going to look at the wiring. And, when we took this thing apart, I'm talking like point to point. We took it apart, and I used all the original solder blobs that were on here to put it back together. You just saw me. I got to stretch the pick guard back around everything. This is the fun of the job, man. It's awesome, dude. We just had it refinished. Went back. It was a horrible, think of like a muddy watercolor, just brown stain. So it just got nitro finished in the sunburst. Had to take everything off of it. And if you know Jaguars, there's wires running here, wires running there. So we just got it put back together. So now we're just making sure everything is legit. We're gonna throw some strings on it, and then we're gonna sell that sucker.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. This is a cool guitar. I cannot wait for this. So right behind this one, the batch of refin, I got a 67 Tele, I got a 69 P-Bass, and a 63 Jaguar that we're going to be working on next. So this is a fun week for me to be at work. And the Tele is a 67. There's a neck for her right there. This is a beautiful neck, dude. This is one of my favorite necks. And what happened is, many moons ago, these were all taken apart. So as I dig for projects, I'll be going through something and I'll find another piece for one of these guitars. These were all separate. Like the necks and bodies were, one day I came into the shop and there was this big box just laying right in the middle of the floor. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I opened it up, and it's gobs of old Jaguar bodies and P-basses and Telecasters. This one was originally a Sunburst, but it had been stripped. And this one was originally a Sunburst, but it had been stripped too. So they are back to their glory. I think, me being a Tele guy, I'm going to start here next. Yeah. I got to start there next. That's going to be awesome. I got a lot of the components, and you saw some of my frustration. Yeah. So maybe actually I should probably start with the Jaguar. Since I already know what we're working on with this one. But all of these will be available soon. And I'm super stoked, man. This is like Christmas for me, man. This is awesome. Oh man, back when I used to have my...
Yano's so fucking cool. He has his own custom stool.
I started off as a drummer, and I used to play drums all the time. And we had them at a little, you know, a friend's house, and I'd always go over there, and somebody would be sitting behind my set playing the drums.
Dude, that's dope for a fucking drummer.
So the easiest way, if I go over there and say, "Get out of my chair," well, how do I know what your chair? It's got my name on it.
It's got his
Boom.
fucking name on it. Got his name on it. That's dope.
Seemed like forever, and he's always treated me great. And I think, you know, he's got a reputation for, you know, he's not just you know, gimme.
Yeah.
He really cares about the guitars. And oh man, one of my old buddies, Peter Chase, I used to work here for him, and he was a great cat. But yeah, I love this place, and thank you, Hungry Outlaw.
To be